Pleasant good evening and welcome to Focal News Summary. 50 minutes of news presentation about Liberia and other parts of the world. Today's Monday, June 9, 2025, and I'm Zachariah Jibre on top of today's presentation. In the headlines, for the second time, daughter of former Liberian First Lady Nancy Doe rejects favor from President George Weah. Monrovia City Court orders the release of 4 opposition lawmakers from South Beach Prison on bond. President Bouaka pays condolence visit to the home of former First Lady Madame Nancy Doe. And briefly away from home, British news photographer undergoes emergency surgery after being hit by non-lethal bullet. These and many more developments are coming up. Stay tuned. When I return, I bring you the developments. Welcome back. The debate surrounding the condolence gift from former President George Weah to the family of the late former First Lady, Madame Nancy Doe, has resurfaced following an unprecedented second rejection by her daughter Veronica Mamin Doe. The gifts initially presented to assist with funeral arrangements were returned, this time not to the family compound, but directly to the national headquarters of the Coalition for Democratic Change. What began as a traditional gesture of sympathy has now snowballed into a national controversy, sparking widespread debate about the cultural ethics, political overtones, and the sincerity of public condolences practiced in Liberia. Former President Weah visited the Doe family over the weekend to extend his sympathies following the passing of Liberia's former First Lady Nancy Doe, widow of the late President Samuel Kayon Doe. In a customary show of respect, former President George Weah offered 5,000 United States dollars, 25 kg bags of rice, and 2 cows to aid with funeral preparations. However, day after the presentation, Mamin Doe, daughter of Nancy Doe, returned the condolence package to the CDC headquarters, asserting that the gesture was not welcome, adding that her mother's legacy and dignity cannot be entangled in political gestures that lack sincerity. The act has stunned many observers and reignited national conversations about the limits and motivations of political engagements during mourning periods. President Joseph Bouaka has paid a solemn condolence visit to the home of the late First Lady, Madame Nancy Doe, widow of former Liberian President Samuel Kayon Doe. The visit was a moment of deep reflection, unity, and national reconciliation, as President Bouaka extended heartfelt sympathies to the Doe family on behalf of the government and people of Liberia. The late Madame Nancy Doe, who served as First Lady from 1980 to 1990, is remembered for her grace, resilience, and quiet contributions during the turbulent period in the nation's history. President Bouaka described Madame Doe as a motherly figure whose dignity in the face of adversity inspired many Liberians. He further emphasized that Liberia must honor all those who have played a major role in its national journey, regardless of era of political alignment. The president was accompanied by senior officials of government, including members of his cabinet and executive mansion staff. President Joseph Bouaka has signed Executive Order 150 suspending import tariffs on rice. The move is aimed at stabilizing the prices of rice on the Liberian market, preventing further hike in price of the nation's staple food. The executive order seeks to improve affordability and ensure access to food across every household in the country. According to an executive mansion release, President Bouaka suspended the tariffs to food security, price stability, and protecting the purchasing power of ordinary Liberians. Meanwhile, the Liberian leader has mandated the Ministry of Commerce, Liberia Revenue Authority, and other agencies to ensure full and timely enforcement of the new executive order across the Liberian markets. A prominent member of the opposition Congress of Democratic Change, Abdul Kane, has expressed disappointment in the current leadership of the party, accusing them of double standard. In an interview with journalists, Kanu called for a restructuring of the party while pledging his commitment to rebranding the institution. He further vowed to sacrifice everything in the interest of the party, including his life, which, according to him, demonstrates his commitment to transformation. The CDC stalwart also criticized internal figures, claiming some are aligned with President Bouaka and working to undermine the CDC from within the enabling outside influence. He warned of internal external resistance to protect the country's values, urging loyalists to prepare for decisive action to reclaim the CDC's integrity. A group calling itself Concerned Supporters of the Rescue Mission wants President Joseph Bouaka appoint John Kangba as Inspector General at the Ministry of Commerce. The calls followed the recent resignation of Commerce Inspector General Doug Cooper, who resigned due to his involvement in the Demni academic fraud. In a release, the group described Mr. Kanga as a competent individual whose vision aligns with the arrest agenda for national unity. In a full-count endorsement statement, concerned supporters of the rescue mission cited, among other things, that their candidate's qualifications, leadership abilities would make him outstanding for the position. The national chairman of the National Patriotic Party, George Morba, has stressed the need for impartial investigation into trial of former House Speaker Funanti Kofa. The chairman said the burning of the democratic seed and sacred heart of the country sends a bad image of the nation, emphasizing the need for expeditious trials of the perpetrators to be brought to justice to face the full weight of the law. The NPP chairman further noted that all criminal cases start with the police and that the police need to do due diligence in helping the court with pieces of evidence for speedy investigation. Anthony Morba made a statement over the weekend in an interview with Front Page Africa in Banga, Bonk County. Preparations for the Nima County District Farm Representatives by-elections have officially begun following the issuance of the writ of election by NEC Liberia. Chairperson David Brown Lasana mandated Clerk of Writs Amos Kamara, who formally issued the document for the 12th of August 2025 vote. Upper Nimba County Magistrate Milton Pay received the writ during a ceremony where key electoral dates were also disclosed to the public. The National Elections Commission confirmed that all procedures are now underway to ensure a smooth and timely electoral process in the district. The Monrovia City Court has issued travel ban on former House Speaker, Councillor Funanti Kofa, alongside 4 sitting lawmakers, barring them from leaving the country. The move follows criminal charges filed by the Liberia National Police. The 5 lawmakers, which include Representatives Funanti Kofa, Abu Kamara Dixon Sipo, Jacob Dibi, and Priscilla Cooper, are facing prosecution in connection with the alleged burning of the Capitol building. The court's decision to restrict their movement was issued over the weekend by Magistrate Ben Bako, who granted the writ of no exeat republica following a formal request from state prosecutors. The writ mandates that all security agencies stationed in Liberia's ports of entry prevent the accused lawmakers from traveling abroad. State security agencies have been instructed to arrest the lawmakers if they are seen attempting to leave the country while pending their charges. Indeed, if you are just joining, this is a reminder you are listening to Focal News Summary, 50 minutes of news presentation about Liberia and other parts of the world. Today is Monday, the 9th of June 2025, and I'm Zachariah Jigwe on top of today's presentation. In the headlines, for the second time, daughter of former President Samuel Kayando rejects favor from former President George Weah. President Bouaka pays condolence visit to the home of former First Lady Madam Nancy Doe. And briefly away from home, British news photographer undergoes emergency surgery after being hit by non-lethal weapons. These and many more developments are coming up. Stay tuned. When I return, I bring you more developments. Welcome back. President Joseph Boakai has hailed agriculture as backbone to Liberia's thriving economy. President Boakai emphasized that Liberia must take pride in its natural resources, thereby increasing the country's natural economic viability. Speaking at his farm in Banga, Barbulu County, the Liberian leader further highlighted the urgent need for increased attention towards agriculture as a foundation for national development. According to an executive mansion release, the president's visit is part of a broader agenda to promote agricultural productivity and rural development. He added that by showcasing the viability of fish farming, the nation stands to inspire a new generation of agripreneurs, which will bolster private sector investments. The Liberia National Police has expressed deep concern regarding the arrest of Congress of Democratic Change National Chairman Janga Kowo, clarifying that it was based on probable cause. The police action was since sparked public outrage, with some framing the police for unprofessional tactics, while others have called for an investigation. In a release, Police Inspector General Gregory Coleman has mandated the Professional Standards Division to review the video footage to establish the incident. He vowed to release the findings of the investigation for public consumption, stressing the police's commitment to upholding law and order. The Liberia National Police has concluded a month-long investigation into Capitol building as in case, revealing a coordinated plot to destabilize national peace and democracy. Police Inspector General Gregory Coleman confirmed evidence-based charges on Friday. The charges included as in a conspiracy implicating private citizens and lawmakers. The police boss stressed that the investigation was based on legal framework, not political matter driven by tactics and constitutional duty to justice. The police warned against incitement, urging calm and respect for Liberia's judicial process and democratic values. The police chief assured that the investigation and subsequent prosecution of those involved will not cause Liberia to fall, but rise stronger, united, and committed to peace. And a British news photographer has undergone emergency surgery after being hit by a non-lethal bullet while documenting a standoff between police and protesters in the city of Los Angeles. Nick Stern was covering the protest against immigration and customs enforcement on Sunday when he said 3-inch plastic bullet tore into his thigh. This is Focal News Summary. I'm Zachariah Jikwe. I presented. Good evening.